Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I am going to hopefully have sound. We'll see. I'm waiting for my devices to catch up to me. Late Night Lori. Okay. Looks like my iPad is catching up. Looks like I have sound. Yay. Yay us. All right. So I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, coming to you from Wisconsin. And things, weather-wise, are kind of calm. So we had record tornadoes in Wisconsin this last week. Like, we had enough tornadoes apparently in 1 week to what we had in a whole 1 or 2 years in the past. So it's kind of crazy. All right, I'm going to go through a couple of my announcements while I'm waiting for folks to come on. Hello, Chantel. How are you? And let's see, what is it, about 1 in the afternoon by you? I'm trying to remember. Hi, Roz. Yeah, it was crazy. And I think I mentioned it last night, but they were going to have some weather awareness, something or other on Thursday. They canceled it because we were like all through it. All right, so 1 p.m. Yes. Sometimes I'll remember the time difference, sometimes not. It is just a little after midnight by me. We're going to pretend, though, that it's Sunday, April 19th at 11:59 p.m. because I try to say that I'm on between 11 and midnight. But yeah, it's always around midnight now. But Juju from Crafted on the Back 40 goes live at 10. And I certainly don't want to compete with her. She had that time slot before I did. So yeah, let's just have at it. Everybody's ready for their Monday, their new week. I think I've got all my lights on. So let me go through some of these things. So if you don't have a demonstrator, if you are not a demonstrator and you're interested in anything Stampin' Up! Related, you can go to my store, latenightlory.stampinup.net. You can see all the specials, products, catalogs, promotions, all that sort of thing, and you can shop with me as well. So, Roz, you're 107 in the morning, right? Because you're Eastern time, I'm Central time. Yeah, and Chantel's from Australia, so she's 13 hours ahead of us. So sometimes I do really good keeping up with the time zones, sometimes not so much. And I did not have a nap, and I only had a few hours of sleep last night because I was finishing sourdough bread and sourdough discard peanut butter cookies that a friend of mine had requested. So, and then I had a team meeting with my team leader today, and we did a card swap. I'll share those cards maybe tomorrow. There are a couple that I didn't finish because sometimes I make little modifications to the cards and I didn't have all my things. So maybe I'll share those tomorrow. There weren't there very many. We had 9 of us there today. So I'll have a few cards to share. But don't forget, last chance products. Once an item makes it to a last chance list, once it's gone, it's not coming back. So keep that in mind if there's something that you see that you like. Chantel, actually, I've been looking for clocks to do just that. You know, in the Midwest, at least, we have George Webb restaurants. They're like little greasy spoon places, we call them. They do breakfast and lunch. I don't know if they do dinner or not. Every once in a while, my husband has a hankering to go and just get some divey cafe food. and they have clocks on one of their walls. They have like 2 clocks or 4 clocks or something. There's some history with that, with their restaurant, but I have a nice open space on one of my walls that I fully intend to put several clocks so I can keep track of the time zones. Great minds think alike. So back to last chance products. I'm actually going to pull out one of those today, and I'll mention that last chance product when I get to it. So Roz, I use my phone on my clocks. I can go to all the different time zones, but because I use my phone to record this, I don't have it. So does it look out of focus to anybody else? I feel like I'm out of focus again. YouTube has just not been really kind to me lately. It seems like this is a little out of focus, but maybe it's just the packaging. So I just wanted to share with everybody this product of the month. This is available for $5. You can add it to your cart for $5. In the United States, you do need, everywhere, you need a qualifying order to get this as a deal for the product of the month. In the United States, it's a $75 order, so that's before your tax and shipping and after any kind of Stampin' Rewards, coupons, bonuses, etc. But this is an amazing die. I kind of cased this the other day, and we cut around these edges. It is a full-size die. So it is bigger than a card front in the United States. So, you know, maybe card fronts over across the pond are bigger. Let me just see if... So this is 4 1/4 by just about 6 inches. Excuse me. So that's a pretty good size die. So get that before it's gone. The product of the month items, you can only buy one of them. And once they're gone, they're gone. They're not coming back either. So there's that. We have a virtual album retreat coming up in 9 days. 9 days. So April 29th, 30th, and May 1st. May is National Scrapbooking Month. I have a note here for myself. And the first Saturday in May is apparently National Scrapbooking Day. I had no idea until Stampin' Up! Told me. Hello, Donna. How are you? So the first Saturday in May is May 2nd. So this is all kind of timed to lead into the National Scrapbooking Month. So if you're local to me and if you purchased your virtual album retreat, and if you would like to come over to the studio and craft with me, I will be doing a watch party. And if you purchase the kit from me, then I will get you a journaling pen as a gift. All right, Paper Pumpkin. You can subscribe for the May kit until May 10th. 9 cards, 3 different designs, all kinds of stuff in there. I've mentioned this the last couple of nights, not the last couple of months, the last couple of nights. So let me know if you've got questions about Paper Pumpkin. You can find information about that on my webpage as well. And then we've got a new catalog coming out May 5th. I can only show you the cover, of course. I've mentioned that before. Stampin' Up! Has rules. I cannot show the inside until it's live to customers. So it goes live on May 5th. If you're not a demonstrator, and if you do not have a demonstrator, if you're not in the United States and would like me to assist you with any of your crafting needs and need a catalog, just shoot me an email. LoriMacari@gmail.com, and I would be happy to get a catalog to you and help you out. So, Chantel, you watched my Paper Pumpkin video from the weekend and love. I did. I responded. I responded earlier tonight. I think it was after our team meeting. I got home a little after 6 p.m. my time, like 6:15. So I'm going to do the Z fold tonight, and yeah, we can maybe look at an easel card. Remind me if I zip past it or something, but definitely a Z card, because I one of those papers yesterday just kind of struck me that it would make a nice Z card, and they're so easy to make. I don't know that I'll do a double Z fold today because I would want to play with my measurements for that just to make sure that I get the right angles on everything. But anyway, my April calendar is winding down. Tomorrow I've got my make the most out of your Monday. Well, actually it's today since I'm after midnight now too. Monday open studio time. I do this once a month. I usually try to do it on the third Monday of the month. So if you're local to me, you bring your crafting things and we just hang out in my studio. You can use some of my things if you need to supplement some of your supplies. So if I've got stamps or dies that you don't have and you have something in mind, we work it out. All right. And I've got like all of the colors. So if you're missing a color, you're welcome to use my things. And, you know, we chat and craft and we'll make some beverage decisions and just have a good time. So that starts at 2 in the afternoon, my time, Central Time. And then Saturday, I'm doing my Cute as a Bug picnic basket class. So this will be the last day for you to RSVP for this class. We're going to do this adorable picnic basket. The lid does come all the way off if you want it to. All right, so that comes all the way off. We're going to do 4 cards. You will leave here with the basket, or at least all the parts to it, and then your 4 cards. I will have PDF instructions for constructing the picnic basket for sure. I may have PDF instructions for the cards. I don't know. All right. And that class is $35, or it's free if you purchase that Sweet Bugs bundle with me, or if you purchase another bundle of equal or greater value. All right. So you can shop with me here. If you do make a bundle purchase and you want to do the class, make sure that you email me so that I know your intention is to get that class for free. Otherwise, sometimes I'm not paying attention to what some of my specials are at the time. So just remind me with an email. And then if you are just purchasing the class, you can Venmo the money to me if you've got a phone and can scan that little QR code. That should get you right to my Venmo. Otherwise, my handle there is at Lori-Macari. So shoot me your payment for that class and we'll get going. We're going to start at about 12:30 on Saturday, the 25th. So let's get down to business. Oh, the picnic basket. It was so fun to make. And it's just really cute. I'm going to modify the handle a little bit because it was a little flimsier than what I like. So I'm going to fix that. So don't worry that your handle's going to be funky like that. If you try to order, the last time I looked, which was a couple of days ago, if you're trying to order like this whole suite of products, I think the ribbon was out of stock. But I have plenty for our class, so don't worry about that. And that's not part of the purchase requirement to get the class for free with me anyway. All right, so let's take a look at the cards we did with the Paper Pumpkin class yesterday. And here are the samples. Hey, Juju. I missed your live tonight. I did see your one last night, though, where you were using some of those scraps that I sent you. And I did think that you were going to use your scraps. So I may send you more. Beware. I haven't been compiling them, though, right now. So I'll have to compile some. And are you still doing your bag journal thing? Is that for a whole year? Because I haven't forgotten. I still have my note. Decorate a bag for Juju. So I haven't forgotten. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So it's on my to-do list. You know, I'm retired. I just don't seem to have any time to do extra things. So, so anyway, here is the first card we made. I decided to make it kind of an alternative because I didn't want to lose the water imagery on this. Hey, Yuda, welcome. I mean, this is nice. I tried to follow the instructions, but sometimes it's just a challenge. So I just kind of changed it up a little bit. Same elements. We all agreed last night, or at least a couple of us did. Chantel, I think you agreed with me, or somebody agreed with me that doing the cattails upside down just doesn't, it seems illogical. So we did ours a little bit different. We added them to the envelope as well. So that's one of our cards. The second card was here. Now this looks more like Azure Afternoon. This looks more like Misty Moonlight to me. So I think when they do the computer imagery, sometimes the colors don't always match up exactly because they're doing these ahead of time. And then once the papers get generated for the kit, sometimes there's a little variance. So this one was pretty much as per the instructions. The seagulls may have been, the only color ink in here was the Peaceful Pine. So they had to have been Peaceful Pine, but they look more blue there. So I don't know. I probably should have done them in blue. I might have liked them better, or black. But then we added some Wink of Stella on here, so there's a little shimmer to the bicycle chrome and wheels and stuff. So there's that. And it's a shame because like here you've got this Misty Moonlight piece and it covered up the whole, almost the whole front. So we're gonna change that up today. That's the card I'm gonna work on today as an alternative. And then we have this one. So this one I did pretty much how the instructions said as well, except I think I used the wrong label piece. I think I was supposed to use the smaller one, but who knows? It doesn't really matter. It worked out all right. So I love nautical things. We added some cattails to the envelope as well. This envelope we could cut up and use as some designer series paper. It looks much like clouds to me. So we'll see what we do with that, whether it's today or not. And then I did one alternate card last night because I had seen a technique from Susan Campfield. And she credited one of her team members, Joanne Pollock. I don't follow either one of them, but they came up in our, like the demonstrator planning place. I think it came up on my feed somewhere that's not like a general Facebook feed. And she called it a double vision card. So I made an alternative with this one. And basically I took this circle, measured how far across it was, kind of divided it up so I could do it kind of equal strips, but we ended up doing smaller and then going to bigger ones because I wanted this house to be intact, or the cabin to be intact. All right, Juju, thanks for listening in. So this was our first alternative. I thought it turned out really cute. It's like an eclipse card, but it doesn't have the dark background. So, like I said, she called it a double vision card. So it does kind of make it look like there's some movement in it. But every other panel was lifted up on dimensionals. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Maybe not. You can kind of see where it's raised up, I think. Anyway, you get the idea. So those were the 4 cards that I did last night. Now, I did mention that it coordinates with some other products. And it coordinates, this paper pumpkin kit coordinates with this relaxing Waterside. So there's stamps and dies and then this paper. So let's go ahead and open up this paper because I haven't done that yet. This was something that I got from my pre-order. And in case you're not aware, I am left-handed. And when I get my papers, I like to slice the left-hand side. And then I change the backing sheet so that when I flip my paper over, it still opens on the left, but then I can see it. All right, so let's go ahead and take these out. So Donna, you've seen that kind of card before. The double vision card or an eclipse. I've never heard one that's called a double vision before, but I thought it was kind of cool. Oh, Allie, welcome. You fell asleep after your class. So kind of chilly. Yeah, you get comfortable under a blanket, stay warm. But we did a couple of brayer techniques with you last night. Even though you were gone, we did them in your honor. And then Allie likes to do jokes. So I found, is anybody familiar with Laffy Taffy? Laffy Taffy has jokes on every single wrapper. And I just happen to have Laffy Taffy in my studio because I have a sweet tooth. So anyway, I love it that there's a whole suite that coordinates with it. So here's a joke for you. What type of check has no money? What kind of check has no money? I'll give you a couple minutes to think about it. All right, so these are all basically elements that we can cut out and have card fronts or ephemera kind of things. I wonder if you forgot the S in cats. Doesn't Allie have a nice voice on her YouTubes? Oh, did you? All right, so this is kind of like the back of, or this card base. So this is from the paper pumpkin kit. It's just on a smaller scale. So that's kind of cool. Then we've got some fish. This is great for the more masculine cards. My husband, Mathman, is a fisherman, or he used to be. He doesn't fish much anymore. And I like this, the waves. I kind of forgot what was in here. So we've got the bicycles. Those, I wonder if there's a die to cut those out. Sometimes the dies, no, there's not. Sometimes the dies will cut out elements from the designer series paper. Seagulls, if there were that many seagulls around, that would be kind of freaky. Or here. Now this would maybe make a fun scrapbooking layout page, except that they go the same direction. I don't know. A little plaid there. Oh, all of these flotation devices. That's kind of fun. I really like nautical things. And then here we've got some wood planks, some more flotation devices, and some more oars. So I don't remember seeing an oar either. No, there's not an oar die either. The dies must only work with the stamped images, maybe. And then the back there is some more striped stuff. So we may or may not use this tonight. We'll see. What was the joke again? What kind of check has no money? All right, so let me just put this back in here so I don't lose any of my sheets or get anything stuck in between them. What kind of check has no money? So Chantal, your husband is an identical twin. Oh, he's a lefty too. Nice. Oh, that's weird that they're identical twins and they're not the same. Checkmate could have money if they're betting on the game. Lefties unite. Yeah, I noticed left-handed people when we're out. Oh, a bounce check. That's a good answer, too. That would be a check that has no money. Not the answer Laffy Taffy gave, though. All right, so the other thing that I thought we would use tonight is this. Now, I don't know that you can see the texture on here. Let me get some pecan pie. Like some real pecan pie actually sounds pretty good, but I meant the ink. A check mark. I thought about that too, but that is not the answer that Laffy Taffy gave us. Any other ideas? those are things I thought of too. I thought check mark. Let me pull these things out of here because they're kind of making my workspace lumpy. And it's a good thing you can't see my whole workspace because it's really messy. But a messy desk is a sign of, how does it go? A messy desk is a sign of a creative mind or something? Is that how that goes? All right, let's do a couple of things. Let's do a little bit of brayer here. And we'll call out a little Ellie. Although she uses it for the glue. So we're going to take this little piece and we're going to put our brayer on here. Now, if you're not familiar with this brayer from Stampin' Up, and I don't know if they're all the same, I haven't shopped around for them because if Stampin' Up has it, I don't shop anywhere else because it gets delivered to my door and I'm happy. I don't have to go anywhere because I'm not really a big shopper. I don't like to go to the stores and walk around because I have a hard time with people that can't do their jobs and stuff. But anyway, this has feet. So when you set it down, it doesn't get on your paper. But when you use it, you want to flip it over. All right. So let's just do a little bit of brayer on here. See how cool that looks? And I'm sure you've all seen this before. It's nothing really new. My brother and I were both left-handers. My parents were both right-handers. I'm just going to keep doing this whole sheet, I think. I like it. There's a couple of different ways that you could colorize this. Now, this paper, I meant to tell you, is on the last chance list. Now, Stampin' Up! From time to time has different wood textured papers and things. Let me get this out of the way. But this one is on the last chance list. This is the wood textured. It's from the annual catalog. And the annual catalog ends like May 4th. So then there's a changeover day when we go to May 5th for the new catalog. So if you like this paper, there's 2 sheets of it. They're 12 by 12. It's heavy paper, and the back is blank. So it's flat. So only one side is textured. This side is flat. All right. And I discovered that I hadn't used hardly any of this. So I thought, why not pull it out tonight? So there's one piece. But then I thought we could also try just a couple of other techniques for fun. So you've never seen the brayer or the paper. I'm just going to drag this and see how dark that gets it. You can just drag that across the paper, and it does fill in a few more of the gaps, you know, the indentations. Stampin' Up! Had an embossing folder. What was that called? Timber. It was called Timber. I think I might still have that. I don't think I sold it yet. All right. Oh, you haven't seen that technique. Cool. So that's just the easy way. Let's say you don't have a brayer and you just want to use your ink pad. Use a light touch. I did kind of a heavy touch initially. I should have just gone a little bit lighter. So here you can see if I just use some care, I can go lighter and darker. I was just all in, you know. And then I thought I would see what it looks like instead of using this. I think I'm going to do here. I should have left this open. We're just going to take a look and see what it looks like with a blending brush. Now the blending brush might get too much into the nooks and crannies. I don't know. I haven't tried it. So it does get into the nooks and crannies, but it actually makes the nooks and crannies darker, which is kind of a nice option. Yes, the answer is spell check. But their answer had a hyphen in the middle of it. See, can you see that? Spell check. All right, so there's one other, they always have two jokes on here. The second joke, good job, Allie. What can you serve but not eat? Now this could be a whole lot of things. So that's 4 different techniques. So we got brayer, dragging the ink pad, going lighter with the ink pad, and then a blending brush. What can you serve but not eat? Serve, oh, I should have picked up on that one right away because I used to work for the criminal court system. I used to put people in jail all the time. That is a really good answer. But no, that's not what they said. All right, so we are going to take one of these dies. So here's the die. We are going to take this die and we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to try to stamp the image on here. And I wanted to show you, I thought it would work pretty good using our positioning tool. And I had to do it twice. This is just on the regular, this is on the wood paper, the wood grain paper. So I think I'm going to try to stamp it with the pecan pie and see if that looks any different for me. And we're going to do it on this piece. We're just going to see what it looks like. Because that way, if I wasn't sure how it would do with the texture. A tennis ball. Chantel, you got the answer. That was their answer. Did you see it when I was showing this one? It said like a 10. I tried to cover it up. So yes, a tennis ball. Good job. All right, that wrapper's going in the garbage. The next time I eat more Laffy Taffy, I will keep those jokes. All right, let's get this piece. I'm going to wash off the No, you didn't cheat. All right, I'll trust you. And it's not like you're getting scored, so it wouldn't really matter anyway. All right, let's dry this off. We'll just tap it on my pants there. All right, so we're just going to line that up there. I don't know if there was a good way to line this up. I tried to line it up with the grain kind of going up and down since that's what we're going to see most. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So let's just ink this up and see how it looks. Well, have a good time with your visitors, Donna. Thank you for stopping in. It's always good to see you. Enjoy the rest of your day. So that's not very dark at all. Let's ink it up again and see if we can make it darker. Part of it got darker. It's still not very dark. And I think it's because of the textured paper. And because I did my ink blending, or the brayer, kind of dark. All right, so I'm not super happy with that. So let's just turn this over. And that's going to overlap. So let me move this down a little bit. Or maybe, whoops, I dropped my plate. What if we take this other piece Here, we'll take this piece. It's only paper, and I have a whole nother sheet, and it's magnet. All right, I had a magnet in my hand and now it's gone. It'll turn up somewhere. All right, so it'll be fine. Let's ink this up again. And then I'm just going to do the blending brush over this lightly, I think. This should work better. I'm going to do one more take on it. Part of it's light, and it's because of the texture of the paper, which is why I did the positioning tool, because I thought I might need to do multiple swipes. Nope, not today. It's here somewhere. It'll turn up. It will turn up. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, here it is. I found it. It flipped off to the side. All right. And you gotta love the chamois. It's perfect for this. Oh, that's right, because I was supposed to, if we lose stuff, it's a sip. Somebody's going to have to tell me all the rules, because I don't know what all the rules are. All right, so let's do a little blending again on here. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, you got to sip your beverage. Well, I'm just doing water, so it'll be pretty safe no matter how many items I lose, I think. All right. Then let's go ahead and do a little bit of blending on here. We're going to kind of make it look like a chair. So if I lose it but find it, do I still have to take a sip? Probably. That's all right. I can do it. So here's my little Stampin' Up! Cup. Water. Does a body good. All right, and then we're going to cut this out. I think that'll be kind of cute. We'll see if that sticks. All right, and then I'm going to move this package out of the way. And we'll bring out Bossy Bessie here. And we'll cut this out. Get shifted just a little bit here, or I just wasn't careful when I put it on. We'll see how that looks. Yes, so I say, but I do have little tippy cows at my disposal, should I choose to open them. And there might be some little bottles of rum in there too. Just saying. So I had a class planned and then I couldn't do it because something happened. I couldn't do the class. But it was, my class was going to be oh, that's a fun game. So my class was going to be pour decisions and paper crafting or something like that. So not pour like bad ones, but pour so we could pour a drink. So it was going to be like a sip and craft thing. Someday I'll still do that. All right, so let's see how this looks. So there's a cute little chair. I like it. And then I'm going to pull in this piece. And let's see what else I want to pull in. Let me put some of this stuff away so that I don't lose it, because I might run out of water if I lose too many things. All right, put our stamp back where it belongs. Oh, cute little mug on there. All right. I didn't lose them. I know the dies are here, right? Here they are. Oh, there is the mug here for the coffee. The grass. The cattails, rather. Let's do some cattails. I'm going to put these over on my magnet so I don't lose them. I got grass and cattails. I think we'll just do cattails. And that's part of the chair. This is a book. And I think we're going to do relax. Hurry up and find something and hurry up and lose it. All right, so let's put this back there. We got some other dies out there. I am a messy stamper and I am a putsy stamper. All right, so what I thought we would do, I'll get rid of some of my debris. What I thought we would do is make this into our Z fold. So instead of having the base fold with this on the outside, go ahead with your question, Chantel. How do you store your ink spots? If you take, it depends. If you have like a store that sells little fishing, I'm looking to see if I have one handy. Like little tackle boxes. You can find them at craft stores too, where they have the little compartments. You can also use like a paper pumpkin box and just stack them all up in there. I had a whole bunch and I cleared out my room because I had a couple of classes. But they fit really nice in the paper pumpkin box. And one of our paper pumpkin kits within the last couple of years had some dividers. So yes, a bead container, something like that. Perfect. So there's a lot of different things where these fit, and they're about 1.25 inches square. So just make sure that you're getting something that's got like 1.5 inches. So you've got some room to work with them. And then you want to store them upside down because that'll keep the ink to the top of that felt piece. So if you store them like this, I mean, they still have all the ink there. But then it's not at the top of your pad where you're stamping. So you want to store your ink upside down. Our normal ink pads, they store that way automatically because they flip upside down as you close them. And these new ones are the same way. The ink pad is already upside down when you close it. So that's by default. These you want to store upside down. And then what I do with mine is I write the color on here. I have a fine tip one too. but that way I can see what they are no matter what side of the container I'm looking at. Okay, so with this, instead of folding it so that the color's on the outside, we're going to fold it so that the color's on the inside. And then I could score this, or I could just fold it. So I'm just going to fold it, but I'm still going to use my scoring tool here, or my trimmer rather. And I'm just going to push this right up to the edges. And then we're just going to crease it that way. Okay. Burnish it. So here's our little Z-fold. Now I'm going to need a layer in here, but I'm going to get my Spotlight on Nature. So does everybody have these Spotlight on Nature dies? They're so versatile. I'm so glad I have them. And I hope they don't retire anytime soon. So, you know, we've got this piece that would make a really nice focal point, but I wanted to use the chair for this one. So I'm going to use one of these dies. In my paper pumpkin kit, when I'm done with all my parts and pieces, I have little sleeves. Let me just reach over here and grab one. I have little sleeves for like my kits and my paper pumpkins. I have some that are snaps and I have some that are Velcro. I got them from Amazon. And I put my instructions in there, some of the extra elements if I have things, and then the stamp set would go in there too. Our new kits, this is the first one I think that has the images and the words right on the instructions. So what I'm going to do is with mine is the carrier sheet. You want to make sure that you keep both of these plastic sheets, the window sheets. So I'm going to take my soft one and I'm going to tape it right on my container, my thing. And then when I'm done with my stamps, they're going to go right on the sheet. And then my hardcover will go right on there. And then when I put this in the sleeve, I'm going to be able to see these. Some people put them in like a photo album with pockets, maybe like 4 pockets to a page, so that they can flip through and see the sentiments. Some people do like an Excel spreadsheet and put all the words in, so you could do a search on there. I don't have time. I mean, I could make the time, but it seems like busy work rather than something that I would really use. So lots of different ways you can do it. I think once you start getting your kits and you know your space better than anybody else, you'll figure out how you want them. Just my speculation there. So we're going to do this, but I don't want it in the brown. I'm thinking maybe Misty Moonlight. Maybe something out of here, actually. Let's look at some of these. I want just a plain. Was there a plain color? Oh, we could do a plain color with part of the seagull page. Let's do that. We're going to cut that down to just a 6x6. And some of the kits, Chantel, give us a paper piece that has all of the words on it like this. And you can turn it into like an envelope to put your stamps in too. I've seen it done a lot of different ways. So we're going to use this, and we're going to make a circle for our Adirondack chair. I do not want the florals. I want this to be more of a masculine card. So, all right, we'll put that back. Maybe that's too big. That might be too big for our chair. What do you think? Because that one goes here. This one would be the next. Oh, we could do just the dashes and dots or these stripes. That might be too small. Maybe not. Let's see how it looks. We won't know till we look. Sometimes I just need the visual aids. Now I could put Bossy Bessie on my little cart so that I don't have to keep disrupting our page, our workspace rather, but my cart's at full right now. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. I can just set that down on the floor out of the way, though. So here's our Z-fold, obviously. So then we could do another white piece to put on the inside of here and put some of those other elements on there. Or, I hadn't really considered this. We could make this that would kind of be similar to the kit. That might be fun. And then we could put, stamp a couple of cattails on there. You're welcome. Or do we want it by the pier? Would you have an Adirondack chair right at the end of the pier? Probably not, huh? Oh, this one would be cool too. Maybe we want to do a square piece. Let's just do some trimming here so we can get some better ideas. So we might use that one. Or we might use this one. And since I'm cutting, I'm just going to keep cutting these because we'll be done in a minute. These would be fun for some of your junk journaling pages, for those of you that do junk journals. That's kind of interesting, but I don't think it works with the Adirondack chair. We could just put a sentiment on it, though. I like that, too. Too many choices. All right, let's go back to our original stuff. Sorry. Squirrel. So if we do something like this, we could put our chair off to the side, maybe, so we could see all of the ship stuff. What do you think of that? Or does the Adirondack chair look too fake compared to the imagery? Sometimes I worry about that. But, you know, quite honestly, if it's a guy, they're probably not even going to notice. They're not going to care. See, Chantel, you're so organized. I should do that. I just don't take the time. There's so many good ways to organize stuff. I kind of like this on a circle. What do you think? Yeah. And I would just have to find a starting point. And my thing is I want my whole history, but now I've started getting rid of things. Let's do this in a circle. I kind of like this image, I think. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and clean off my cart. We'll just shift things around a little bit here. Alrighty, then I don't have to bend over. All right, so if we put this here, we could do our little Adirondack chair here. Or even there, and then the leg is supported on there, actually. Oh, and there's some little anchor trinkets, too. These little nautical ones. So I enabled you, Juju. I don't think that element works with this, but these are super cute too. We looked at these the other day. There's not a front and a back. They're the same either side. So those are pretty cool. I'm looking for a project to use those on there. Well, I suppose I could be an influence on worse things. All right, so I'm going to do another... Sorry, I gotta get all those little pieces out. I'm gonna do one for the sentiment on the inside. We're gonna do that in white. Yeah, I've lost track of how many packs I bought. I like the ones with the Velcro best, or better than the ones with the snap, because the Velcro works better for my tactile lack of sensory sometimes, and the Velcro ones I don't have to struggle with. They just peel. I could get my little brush, but this works. The Velcro ones store better, because then there's not anything to catch, right? My cart went rolling away from me. All right. So if we did something like this, and I'm going to fussy cut this leg because I didn't have the die set up quite close enough. So I'm going to make this side just a little tighter. Just for the chair legs here. You have a download of all the Paper Pumpkin stamps. Yeah, they started, what, 2016? There are a few demos, like Rachel Tessman, I think, has a whole list available on her website or her blog. So this can go here. It's free if you can print it out. Yeah, there's a lot of good ideas for storage. So then this piece, I'll line it up so that the holes all match and everything. And then we'll just put it here. And then when we open it, we'll have that. It'll almost look like portholes. What do you think? And then we can put some more cattail pieces on there. We'll have to decide what else we want. So I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on. And I'm going to kind of use these stripes to level out my horizon. And when I just flap this open, I'm going to put just a pencil line on here so I know where I need to stop my adhesive. So I can put adhesive here, but I don't want it to go over the edge of the paper. Right side up, Lori. Don't forget your little pebble embellishments. Yeah, I think those will work good on here. They'll work good. So I'm going to open this up because I think that's going to work best for me. It's got to go that way. I have to see how far I put my glue. We're going to go like this. We're going to put a Post-it note on here. Because having had only a few hours sleep, I'm just not thinking as clearly as I wanted to. Well, that didn't work either. So let's do this way. I gotta have it a little higher so I can see it, I guess. All right, the photo box is what you use. Oh, to keep your stamps in. Oh, that's a good idea, Allie. All right, so we can go ahead and put that there. Hopefully that's pretty good. Yeah, I can use the stripes to align it as long as I didn't have my, I did that when I put the line on there, but when I had the Post-it note on it, they were all covered. So that works. That's fine. So I eyeballed it pretty close. And then this can come here, but I think we'll put it up on dimensionals. Hello, Suzanne. Welcome. I'm going to cut that one in half. Allie, you've just had some bad luck with your bank account, your Facebook scamming. That's kind of crazy. And then I'm just going to cut some of these edge pieces for the legs, I think. That'll work. So Juju, is Lizzie still by you? That was cute when she was bebopping around your craft room. It reminded me of when my granddaughter was younger. So entertaining. All right. These I think I'm just going to have to peel off. Takes a little bit of energy. Our granddaughter is still here. She does not have school on Monday. So we picked her up at school on Friday. She was here Saturday, Sunday. Papa pretty much had her for most of the day today because I had my team meeting thing. And then that goes just a little bit over the edge, but I think it'll be all right. I think I'll still fit in the envelope all right. Yeah, I would be worried about your bank too. Yeah, that fits in there just fine. All right, so now let's go ahead. Now I had considered putting a piece here, but when you do that, you can't open your Z-fold, so don't do that, okay? You could put a half piece if you wanted to conceal that side. You know, you could cut it so that it's just here, but I don't think it's that big a deal. They're gonna open it kind of like this anyway, okay? We could also put a contrasting piece here so it's just not all stripes. But let's see what we want to stamp on here. I need to glue before I stamp though, because otherwise it might get crooked. That's not what I usually do. So I'm lining up the dots and the dashes. And we're going to put glue on here. And then I'm just going to close the card on it. So let's go like this. They do match the background. So doesn't that look like a couple of little portholes? We, from one of our cruises, had picked up a frame that's like a porthole. That's pretty cute. So now let's see about doing some little embellishments on here, like, well, of course we can do our little pebbles. We'll probably want the pebbles on here. But let's look at the stamp set again. And we're going to stamp these cattail pieces. There are no cattail pieces. There's a die for a cattail piece. Was there a paper with cattails on it? I suppose maybe you just color them. Let me look at this paper again. I wonder, was there cattails that I missed? I wonder if we could do, you can almost cut them out of the paper. That's just grass. Let's just take a look through these papers again and see. So far I'm not seeing any cattails. So those cattails are plain, we just get to color them, apparently. Okay. Let's do that. I'll cut those out and we'll color. I did get the add-on dies. Wonderful butterflies. This signpost would go with this. And actually some of these pieces, no, it doesn't look like those would work from the kit itself. But that would be cute to do a sign on the front of a card too, wouldn't it? I'll keep those out. I don't know if we'll get to it tonight or not. But we could get some peaceful pine here. Are the cattail stems, are those brown? Let's just see. That's going to be kind of dark. Let me go get an old, what's the other color in here? Soft seafoam, maybe? Old olive, soft seafoam, yeah. Get some colors. This is ivory. I don't know if we still have ivory or not. The kit has 3 different sizes for the sign inserts. Yes, it does. Ivory is pretty light. Might give a good base color though for something. I like these cattail dies because they go in opposite directions, so it's not like they're all leaning the same way. Yeah, the sentiment pieces, there was one that was rounded and then the 2 more rectangular pieces that are slightly different in size. I know, there's so many different ideas. And this is light crumb cake. And that might not be quite dark enough. Some soft seafoam. Yeah, I wish there was a stamp for these images. And I'm just using the bullet edge just because it's such a small area and it's kind of detailed. I wouldn't want to break the brush tip. I'm just trying to make it look like grass. And then let's see what this, that might make it look like a good cattail. I think I still need some pecan pie. Dark crumb cake might have done it too, but we're gonna do the pecan pie. Now I can go back over with the golden glow and do a little bit more blending. And just let that dry. There. Yeah, I haven't watched any of the videos for any of the paper pumpkin kits. So we can put a couple of these in here. This one could just go up here, but then I could make another one for in there. And this one could just go here. Let's glue that on. I think my bottle is clogged. Got a little glue booger here, so. It's gonna come out. There we go. It's coming. Thanks, Chantel. All right, so this one I'm gonna put around here. Well, I'm kind of committed now because I pushed it down. So that'll go there. This one I'll put over here. And then I'm going to do another one to put on the outside. Yeah, if I did that, I'd probably have like glue bits all over the place. Oh, that would look right good just like that. It'll kind of go right with the glass, with the grass. Well, that was kind of fortuitous. See if I can get it lined up again now once I put the glue on. Okay. So if I put it right about there, that should work. Yeah, that'll be fine. That's fine. All right, so we learned a few little things. I feel like I need something along here. Like the chair doesn't feel like it's grounded. Well, that's what they are. You could use them for a glue dot, but it is like a glue booger. I try to keep it clean, but, you know, every once in a while something inappropriate comes out of my mouth. So if we put a little shading under the chair, it'll look like a little bit of a shadow maybe. And then it just doesn't look like it's hanging there. And it's probably so subtle that nobody would notice but me. I think I need some grass or something there. That's just not enough for me. Sorry, I told you I was a putsy stamper. Now you know for sure. Oh, we could use this one from, of course, why didn't I think of that before? I could have been using this one from the Paper Pumpkin kit, but I was using the one from the Sweet. Well, it's a little late now, isn't it, Lori? Because I committed. I could have been using that one, but let's see if there is. There's no grassy thing either. There is a grassy thing. Let's just see what this looks like. A sentiment could go there. That would make it look more grounded, wouldn't it? We'll give it a whirl. All right, and this I think we're going to do in let's try soft sea foam and see if that's too light. Yeah, a little bit of the grass here. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. This might be too light. Let's add a little bit of old olive. I kind of like that. Let's put a little bit more of the soft sea foam. And then there is a dye. We'll cut that out and see what it looks like. I'm going to cut it with mostly the old olive lined up, but then that soft sea foam is going to add some extra texture to it, I think. We could probably just use a little tuft of grass. Oh, we could make a seagull too. Oh, and I forgot, there's that little coffee cup too. So many ideas. That's going to come down here. All I did was cut off the top pieces, and then that could even go, I could trim that down and put that behind here. Maybe cut down the same grass to half and put it next to the other chair leg. Now then you can't really get, I don't know. That seems like kind of a lot of grass there. What about something like that? Does that look too unrealistic though with this grass? Those cattails are all, I could probably put it there. Or we could just not use it. I like this one here though. I need a mini dimensional. We'll figure it out. So that's going there. Just gonna put a little glue right across there. And then these little things kind of have a place now. Add some brown to the grass ends to match. Oh yeah, that could work. I don't know if the crumb cake will be dark enough. It's not. I like that. I like the extra texture that gives. Can you see that? Maybe I should zoom in a little bit more so you can see more of what I'm doing. So I like it with the extra brown on there, like over here. That looks nice. Good idea. And then we'll just put a couple of these under here. And maybe another petal just over here, pebble. All right, now here, let's try maybe a little brown in here too, right? Not a whole lot, but just a little. Because I kind of did it all with greens before, so yeah. And we could even I'm just going to hide that under there. I kind of like that. The brown was a nice touch, Chantel. And I don't know that I would have thought of that. And that little dimensional still has enough. Maybe the gulls stamp in the back, like on the stripe or here. There's a flying seagull and there's this one. You like it like that, Chantal? Where did we have the... There were some little seagulls somewhere. Was that a different kit I was doing? Although I could fussy cut a couple of these. Here, let's fussy cut this one. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. Thank you. It's right there. But we could put this little seagull here. I thought there was one in the kit, and then I didn't see it because I've got all of the stamps on the block, except I put those couple away when I was showing the images on the instruction sheet. Take a sip. All right. Got it. I kind of like that. I think what I'm going to do, I kind of like that in there. I think what I'm going to do is cut it to match, and then we can just glue it on there. Maybe the gull stamp flying in the back. Yeah, I think here it would make it look like they're too low. This, it kind of makes it look like they're further away. Who knew one card could take so long? All right. So let's do a little relax. And I'm going to do that in Misty Moonlight for sure. I'm going to have quite a mess to clean up. And then we need our little mug here. I think I'll do that in Misty Moonlight as well. And then I'm going to get a blender pen. These blender pens have been getting a workout lately. And we're just going to try to carry some of this color. And make our mug just a little bit blue. So that one's not very wet. And you want to be careful because it's starting to pill my paper a little bit. But it gives it just a little bit of blue. Oh, and there's a die for this one. Well, that's true, Chantel. You know, that's why I putz around so you don't have to. You can just whip them out. And if you do a video, then you're just going to look like a pro, right? So let's go ahead and see then too, whoever does it after me has the benefit of all of the collaboration that we did here. And that's why we do this. You think that coffee cup looks all right on there, or does it look silly? And then I'm just going to cut this straight. I think I'm going to do block. Maybe up here. All right, so the coffee cup can go on the arm of the chair. That's right there. I need, oh, of course, relax on something like that would have been fun too. I wonder, was there another piece like that? I know, I'll just do blending brushes here. We'll soften it up a little bit. Sorry you couldn't see me. I'm just going to try to soften it up with some of that. Maybe I should fussy cut that, do you think? Tanya, hello. Yeah, this is for me. I don't know if it's the same for Juju, but for me, this is my relaxation time. The house is quiet at this point. My husband's gone to bed. The radio's not on. The TV's not on. YouTube's not blaring. And I can just find myself getting more creative. And I just like to putz around with stuff. I have a sign in my studio that says this is my happy place. Do I need to back up a little bit? Maybe I'm too close now. Is that better? So I'm going to fussy cut this just because we can. And I can always redo it if we don't like it, right? My granddaughter calls this bubble cutting. Well, we're glad that you're here. Well, I'm speaking for both Juju and me. I'm glad you're here. I'm sure Juju's glad you're there too. And you know, when I started as a demonstrator and I was watching other people's videos, not having any plan, because I was a hobby demo when I joined. I wanted a kit. That's all I wanted. So I watched some of these videos for the ideas, and, you know, some of them were just short and sweet to the point. Here's my card, and there's a lot of reels that are like that. Just, you know, fast forward going through stuff. Well, then I have to stop and start and stop and start. And, you know, if I want to try to copy it, it's hard. And, you know, this way I figure if somebody wants to craft along at the same time, you probably could. Just don't make the same mistake I'm making at the time. You know, give it a little pause so you can see if I messed up first. I'm just going to try to trim a little bit more off of this. And then, you know, some of these videos went so long, and I'm thinking, how in the world can they talk that long and craft? And some of them do several projects, and, you know, sometimes like tonight, I'm doing one blasted card, for heaven's sakes. But I like to think of all of you as kind of like my peeps. And, you know, you kind of get to know the regulars a little bit. And, you know, well, we know Allie had some issues with, you know, her bank, and Juju had her granddaughter over, and, you know, those that have like a death in the family or something else, you know, you kind of get to where you feel like you're friends, even though we've never met face to face. So I think I like the relax fussy cut, but now I just don't know where to put it. I don't really want to cover up that grass, right? Where do you think? High or low? I'm thinking right there will work. Well, I'm glad the pace is good. And I figure if somebody wants to zip through it faster, they like the idea, just make the speed on your video go faster. If you do that with Juju, you might not want to understand what she's saying. But I think we'll do relax there. And I think I want to raise it up. I'm going to get some little mini dimensionals, because I think I want just a little bit more depth. So Allie, did you see the alternate I did yesterday when I was doing my kit? I don't remember if you were here when I was first showing the cards tonight. Well, Juju, I understood most of what you were saying, except when you were talking about your gel plates, your gel prints, because to me it sounded like jail. And because I worked in, so you're saying gel, and it sounds to me like jail. And I worked in the criminal court system, so I'm like, jail print? What is she talking, like striped uniforms or something? So once I understood that you were talking about gel prints, then it made more sense. I think we'll go there because it's stuck. I kind of was following this line, but I also wanted to kind of, I didn't want to have part of that circle border showing. Now, is there anything else inside? So the other sentiments in this set are, have a great birthday. Here's to a new chapter. Today is your day. Happy Father's Day. And Dad. I'm not going to give this to a dad. I don't know who I'm going to give it to, but it's not going to be a dad. So it's not necessarily going to be a boy card, but it's going to be to somebody who needs to relax. So it's probably going to be a woman. And maybe I'll just leave that for whatever I want to say. Juju's in Mississippi. She's Central Time Zone. She comes on at 10 o'clock. Craftin on the back 40. And then, Allie, you're Central in Texas. And you come on at 8 o'clock when you come on. And some of the other gals, I don't know. What about some linen thread behind relax? Oh, that might be fun. I'm a little delayed on the comment, sorry. So do you mean like just a swizzle of it behind there? Kind of to add to like the sand brown texture? Let me cut this. All right, so Suzanne, you're Southern, but you still have to listen close to Juju. Well, there must be a backstory with the Q, because I didn't know you could spell cool with the Q either. All right, so we'll do just a little piece here. Let's see if I can peel these off. Two out of three. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting Juju on high speed for a while to listen. All right, so let's just, I'm going to put new dimensionals on this. Just because I don't want it to fall off. And there are plenty more where those came from. Oh, I could probably put this on first and then put the dimensionals on top of it, huh? We'll try to load it up a little bit here. I'll have to pay more attention to how she says cool, because I think I've just probably heard it enough times that I'm not really paying attention. Does that look all right, or does that look silly? It's kind of like I got an extra little bubble there. It's going to be what it is. It is what it is. Kind of like fishing line, yeah. And one of these sets that I have does have a fishing net, but I don't think it's going to work with this. I'm going to tuck this behind the chair a little bit. I kind of like that. That'll work. And maybe a little glue dot to hold that wispiness up there. A quall. Our granddaughter likes one of the programs that's on, what is it up? It's a Qantas or something. I remember, it's like an animated show. There. I rolled that glue dot into a little burrito. So I'm trying to get it to stick here. Qantas. That must be what it is then. Qantas. I'm trying to think. It's something like that. I don't know. She likes it. It's an animated thing. And then they have like a live episode where it shows the kids how to sketch some of the characters in the cartoon. So Juju, I think you need to take a sip every time you look for them and you can't find them. All right, I think this is enough. A little dimensional backing. I think I'm going to put a little half dimensional behind that though. I just need to find there. Half of a little one. All right, so let's there. There, I think that works. That's kind of fun. I like it. I might put another seagull over here. I know you guys are going to be saying, I wish this woman would just shut up and go to bed. I need to find another piece that has, I put it away, that has the bigger seagulls. Ooh, there's a good one. Both of these are good ones. Rats with wings. Well, Allie, I'm good. I'm glad you're accomplishing something. You're usually finishing up something up, like finishing your video when you come in or getting prepped for something. We could probably put both of those on there. We'll see. Cooking with oil. No, cooking with gas. Yeah, we're cooking with gas. All right, you can tell I'm concentrating because I stopped talking. You might have liked the break. But anyway, we're talking about some of these videos that go so long and some that are short and sweet. And, you know, the long ones aren't for everybody, you know. Some people say, well, I don't want to hear them saying hi to everybody that comes online and, you know, I just get to the card. Well, then just fast forward to the end. That's the way I look at it. That's what I do. See, in Wisconsin, they kind of do everything big. So if you're going to cook with gas, you're going to make like a huge, huge fire, and you're going to give it some little accelerant there. I holler at my husband for doing that because I had some beautiful pine trees in the backyard, and the fire pit got moved so that it should have been far enough away from the trees, but he had gasoline on there, and it creates that hot flame that you can't even see, and it burned the trees. And he's like, well, there were no flames. It doesn't matter. It's hotter than the flames, and that'll never come back, you know. So it's just unfortunate that, you know, it happened. I couldn't say I told you so because it's too late. And I says, oh, I don't do that anymore. And then I watch him put more accelerant on the bonfires. Liar, liar. Oh, zoom out. Sorry. I don't know how that happened. Did I have it that close for a long time? Or did it do it on its own? So I think we're just going to glue these on here. I kind of like them flying together. Then we got our little trio. Yeah, if I have something that I try to listen to, it's going to be on my phone. And then if I'm holding it and I start going to sleep, then it hits me in the face. Oops, let's move that so it's inside the card. That didn't go exactly where I wanted him to go, so I think we'll have to... I may have to powder that and dry it off a little bit. I put him where I didn't really want him. I want him down here more. I'll take care of that little bit later. You can't see it anyway. If you wouldn't have watched me peel that up, you wouldn't know it was sticky under there. Yeah, for being ratty little birds, they are cute here. There. All right, now I'm done. I'm done. We'll just take that tack away. We'll let it kind of dry. I think it just finishes off that inside a little bit. Front, inside, and then you can still see the gulls a little bit. I like it. And then we've got the envelopes. I think I could probably use one of these. The colors are good. Otherwise, I'll just use a white one and use some of the Designer Series paper. Oh, maybe I'll do that anyway. We'll put some seagulls on a flap. We'll do that. All right, so let me get rid of some of my debris. And we'll put this up here. And I'll cover up the gel and jail. And we'll call it a night. I suppose I could do my envelope. And that'll give it a nice finished look, right? Just a little bit of seagulls on one side. I think that'll work. Oops, kind of made a little mess there. Now I try to make the glue go as close to the edge as I can, so that it doesn't get ripped off going through the postal machines. Basically, I just took the card base and instead of folding it outward, I just folded inward and then lined it up so that the front was folded in half and just put a bunch of stuff on it. You'll figure it out. You'll make it your own. Oh, my brayer is wet. I was going to say I could do Ellie. We'll just pretend. These are my snips that are really snug. I've never had a pair of snips that came that snug. It's hard to open up the blades. Okay. Cute. Now what can I put there? There. Cute. Thank you everybody for your input. A lot of good ideas. Made it come together, I think. from the brown in the grass to the linen thread. A lot of good ideas. All right, so that's our paper pumpkin alternative. You've got 6 cards ready for Tuesday already. Good for you. And how many do you have in your Tuesday class? How many people? You said your she shed's kind of big, right? My she shed would be too small to have a class. Oh, okay. So 6 prepared for Tuesday. That's your live. Okay. So your she shed could fit like 5. That's pretty warm. Are you saying 80 degrees in your she shed? That's pretty warm. All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight. I appreciate all the suggestions. If you're not subscribed, if you're hanging out in the balcony, give me a thumbs up on your way out. Feel free to subscribe. Share my video with other people. The more, the merrier. And if you're in the balcony, next time you come back, feel free to chime in the conversation. It's all part of the fun. Thanks, Suzanne, Allie, Juju, Chantel. Who else was here? It's been a bit, but Donna was here. I don't know if Donna's still here or not. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Appreciate all of you. Have a good night or a good day. Have a great Monday. Good night, everybody. Happy crafting.